The snow outside the aeroplane window drifted down like the tiny figure, soft but restless. You sat snipping your seat, glove hand resting your lap, trying to ignore the man seated beside you. 6 months of marriage, and not once had he called you by your name. He was a man carved out of marble, arrogant, untouchable, and utterly cold. You still remember the way he said through you on wedding night like you were just another part of the business deal. You hadn't choose him, and he hadn't choose you. Your father had merging too powerful empire in a single signature. The headlines praised it the match made in corporate heaven, but behind the scene you were nothing more than a stranger. You share a house, not a marriage, and now here you were on a work meeting in the snow mountain, forced to spend 3 days together under the same roof. Your company and his were so co-hosting amazing investigation conference at a remote luxury, and then you needed a warmth of happiness. You tried to focus on the snow peak growing larger as the rain displays, but his voice cut through the silence like forest. Make sure you don't speak unnecessarily, he said without looking at you. This isn't vacation. You turn your head toward him. Your voice calm, but shit, I wasn't planned to. He finally looked at you, then those. The plane landed, and the cold between you grew heavier than the snow outside. The cabin was beautiful, tucked into the edge of the frozen forest. It has wide window, tall ceiling, warm fireplace that filled the place with a warm light. But the warmth didn't reach you, especially there were a booking arrow. The manager apologized politely. Due to some snowstorm, the house cabin couldn't be prepped in time. We are deeply sorry, Mr. Kim jaw tightened, but he forced a smile for others around. One room is fine. But once you were alone inside, he spoke through gifted teeth. Don't expect anything. You take the couch. You didn't argue. You didn't even have the energy. You were already feeling lightheaded, your body aching. Maybe it was the sudden change in the temperature, or maybe the hour of waiting and walking through the snow. You shook it off and quietly placed your back on the floor. He changed in the bathroom, came out and disappeared into the corner with his laptop as if he didn't exist. And so you crawled into the couch, pulled a blanket over yourself and tried not to shiver. The night stretched on, your throat gone, your cough lightly into the blanket, hoping he wouldn't hear. You felt cold, colder than before, even though the room was warm. Was it the flu, or maybe something worse? You clawed into yourself, recharging quickly, and watched the solitude under the lamplight. He didn't even grab your robe. The storm outside had gotten worse. You were standing as you walked outside the team for the tail hike. It was a part of conference team building, though it felt more like a punishment. You had swung and you stumbled slightly on the path. Are you all right? You nodded quickly, just a little bit dizzy. You looked ahead. Tim was walking a few meters in front. He didn't turn around even once, even when your body gave out, even when your knees buckled and you collapsed in the snow. Everything blurred into white, cold, and silence. When you opened your eyes, you were back in the cabin. Blankets were piled over you and fire crackled beside the bed, not the couch. Your body was hot, aching cheek flushed with a fever. You shifted weakly and found another warm arm around your waist. lying beside you, holding you. You didn't dare speak, you didn't dare move. His hand gripped your tightly, drawing you to him. His breath was warm against your neck. You could feel the tension in his frame. His heartbeat pressed against yours. Then you heard it whisper. Low, angry and scared. Why didn't you say you were sick? You closed your eyes again because you knew he wouldn't have cared until now. The storm still dragged outside, wind roaring against the window like a bass wind. To get in, snow piled at the edge, casting a black shadow across the cabin wall. Yet inside, beneath the weight of the blanket, you were burning not for a fire. Place not on the storm, but the fever that consumed you within. You stare silently, your lips dry, throat sore, your body achy like it has been dragged through ice. But it wasn't the pain and shadow moving. It was hand still keeping your waist to blink against the flickering light of fire. And realized the weight beside you. It wasn't just the blanket. It was him coming lying next to you, holding you tightly against his chest, one of trembling over yours. His voice just rising and falling against your back. His body warmer than anything you remember, poking you into protective embrace. You throw tighten not for alliances but the disbelief. A man who never touched you, who hasn't even looked you in the eyes for a month now, hand you like you did visible. You shifted slightly, your body resting before your mind catch up. The moment made its discreet tightening swiftly as if you slip away. A cocky voice spoke behind you. Horse did you are awake? You didn't answer right away. You couldn't. The shock was too deep. He cleared his throat, losing his grip slightly, but not moving away. You collapsed in the snow. His voice was different, as if a shadow of a warning on between silence. I brought you back. You had enough. I fever. You were shaking and confused. Fireplace wasn't enough. So that's why he was here. Body heat sinking as his voice arrived. But did you stay voice? Your voice cracked, fragile like a glass. He exclaimed slowly behind you. Don't flatter yourself. You almost died. I did what you knew then. You watched him in no time staff walk past, wounded and blow out the clouds without wind. He didn't do just because anyone would. Anyone would. So why? He shifted behind you again. The tension of you were ice cold. Your lips were turning blue. Silence tension of the fire burning. I didn't pause the matter. Baby, or did you? I didn't like see you like that. You just tightened. The man who couldn't stand to sit beside you at the dinner, the man who handed you a separate room key on your honeymoon, now held you like he was afraid to let go. You whispered, turning suddenly. He pulled back, then immediately as it were. The space between you grew in an instant. He sat up on the bed, scrubbing hand through his messy head. Don't read into this, he said harshly. It wasn't a one-time thing. You shrunk and stopped watching the dissonance, but your eyes didn't leave. I didn't ask for anything.